Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So, one of the biggest problems that I myself have with the Democratic Party, it's the blatant hypocrisy that they show when it just comes to everything. Like, they talk about the country being, that Trump is going to destroy or take away the democracy. The freedom of democracy is at hand, is in jeopardy if you vote for Trump. But yet, the same party put in Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee for the presidency without a vote, without a raising of hands, without a drawing of straws with the American people. It was the donors that pushed Biden out and brought Kamala in. Oh yeah, don't forget, Biden is still the president, y'all. No matter what, all this hoopla that's going around with Kamala right now, Biden is still the president. Do not forget that. So anyway, I talk about the hypocrisy and, a lot of Democrat followers, they get emotional, talk about what about the Republicans, all this kind of stuff. This is not that fight. You understand? This is not that fight. People who say that to me are the same people who do things. Let's say my people, Black Americans, descendants of freedmen. When we do something wrong and we get caught, first thing we want to holler is, well, what about when the white folk do it? And I come back with, I don't care who does it, because I'd be the same one who, like when your kids come home from school and got a low grade, or a bunch of kids in the class got in trouble and you get called or you see that low grade and the first thing your kids say, well, everybody else was doing it. Or, did nobody else pass? I'm like, I don't care about nobody else. Everybody else is not you. Why didn't you pass? I don't care why they didn't pass. Why did you do so bad in this? Or why did you choose? Why did you feel you had to choose to do what they do? And now all of y'all in trouble. And so now I got to come up to the school and with a parent teacher conference and figure out what's going on and watch these people decide your fate. Those are the same people who go that route. And it's cool when their kids come home and say things like that. And then when they go to parent teacher conference, they hollering, fussing, and cussing in the favor of their kids when their child is completely wrong. People don't believe in accountability. Somebody else is doing it, so we should be able to do it. No, you should be able to do the right thing. You should be able to do the right thing. That way, you do the right thing, do everything you're supposed to do. That way, when someone else does wrong, you really have a foot to stand on when it's time to judge like you're supposed to. People say you're not supposed to judge, but that's a lie. There's plenty of scriptures in the Bible about judging. Here's a whole book on judges. But anyway, and then you're given laws. So if you give them laws, you're supposed to be judged up against that law. Them laws, right? Okay. But nobody want to take accountability. Nobody want to be judged or whatever. They always want to say, well, somebody else can do it. I can do it. And like I said, you're like, no, you need a foot to stand on. So when you are able to judge somebody else, or maybe just really just call, checking them, making sure, hey, if you see them, falling off the path, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. Let's come on back and let's go the right way. That's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, so like I say things about the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party, and you get a lot of Democrat followers who always want to, poo-poo what I'm saying. But now there's a story here where a Democratic operative says the reason why she left the Democratic Party was because of the hypocrisy. Well, let's get into the story. This is from MSN.com by way of Fox News. And I know y'all probably going to think there's a little bias to it, but hey, let's just listen to it. Sometimes you have to listen to the other side and not just your side. That's why your kids are in the problems that they in now, because you only want to listen to your child and not the authorities who's saying, hey, your kid is disrupting the status quo and I can't teach, or I can't run my business because your child feels they can do that, or I can't run my team the way I need to because your child feel like they're God's gift to us and we can't run smoothly. It says a Democratic campaign operative revealed that she is exiting the party after volunteering at last month's Democratic National Convention, which left her disenchanted with Democratic leadership. Amazing. In a Newsweek op-ed published Tuesday, this is Newsweek, so this has nothing to do with Fox News. Fox News got this from Newsweek. Evan Barker described how she went from raising tens of millions of dollars for Democrats to distancing herself from a party she now believes is totally out of touch with everyday Americans. Now, all you people, like I say, who feel like Biden and Kamala can't do no wrong, have y'all raised tens of millions of dollars for the Democratic Party or for any candidate for that matter? No, you probably barely voted 10 times in your life, let alone raise tens of millions of dollars. But this young lady have. So I think she has the inside track, little inside knowledge on what's going on in the Democratic Party. It's amazing that someone could come from the inside and give you inside information and you're still going to crap on it. But let somebody come out with a Kim Porter book. Let someone come out and sue P. Diddy for $30 million. Everybody want to believe that, right? Everybody want to believe that. But when it comes to something that really is going to dictate the next few years and maybe even the rest of your life or your kids' lives, you don't want to hear nothing. You don't want to hear nothing nobody has to say about it, even somebody who came from that house. Barker says she was initially thrilled to volunteer at the DNC, where Vice President Kamala Harris accepted the nomination for president. Quote, but once there, wandering amidst the glitz and glam, imbibing the gloss and schmaltz of it all, I couldn't escape a sinking feeling. I felt submerged in a hollow chamber whose mottos were Brat Summer and Joy. Brat Summer, you know Brat Summer, and you had Megan Thee Stallion out there performing, trying to get the colored man vote. And Joy, totally out of touch with regular everyday Americans and their pressing needs. Instead, the most elite people in the world chanted in unison that we are not going back, Barker wrote. Like I say, brats, like she's saying, Brat Summer and Joy, but the pressing needs of the people are what? Interest rate, right? Inflation, job status, job wages, the price of everything, how nothing is affordable. I mean, you can buy, people are buying, just because people are buying stuff does not mean they can afford it, which is what I think is one of the things that are missing in conversations. You know, I could go and buy $100,000 car, but can I afford it? No. I mean, not technically, not when you talk about everything else that I need to pay for or deal with or handle. It's just not smart. You see what I'm saying? So just because you can go out there, just because you go out there and buy the food that you need to eat, doesn't really mean that you can afford it at this point, because nobody's really out there making that kind of money. She said, she goes on, said, I found myself feeling disenchanted, lost, sad, and alone. As someone who has given her life to Democratic politics, it was devastating. But if I'm being honest, it wasn't totally surprising, she continued. So let's continue. Barker says she was raised in a family of blue-collar Union Democrats near Kansas City, a long ways away from the glitz, glamour, and ostentatious wealth I'd become accustomed to seeing in and around Democratic politics. You don't say. The party that does everything to try to keep you poor, or no, let me go back. Advocate for poor people, trying to give you programs, trying to give you money for your first child, you're single parents, trying to keep the welfare system going so you can be on that for the rest of your life. All that kind of stuff that's coming out of taxpayers' money. That party doing what's, I'm saying, having control over your body, having say so over your body, whatever. That party, or they say, is full of glitz, glamour, and ostentatious wealth I'd become accustomed to seeing in and around the Democratic politics. You mean Democrats got a lot of rich folk? The same party that said they're going to raise taxes for the wealthy. Who the heck are they talking about? Because I've seen that too. Matter of fact, who was that? Chris Cuomo did a video. You might want to look that up, at the DNC, and he was pointing out all the people in that Coliseum conference, whatever, stadium, arena. And he was saying all them people up the top, they paid tens of thousands of dollars for them suites. All these people here, these are like millionaires and donors who giving like hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to these politicians, but gonna say they're gonna tax them. Lying in your face, the hypocrisy. Barker's dissatisfaction with the Democratic Party has been building over time, she wrote, but the convention was the final straw. When I went to the DNC last month, I was truly hoping to be re-inspired to feel the same love for the party I felt as a teenager when I pounded the pavement for Barack Obama. I remember them days. Of tomfoolery. I can still recall the immense joy I felt after he won, running into the street with hundreds of other people to dance to Thriller. What community was you in? She wrote. But instead of giving me back that feeling, the DNC was where it finally hit me. It's impossible to unsee what I've seen. I can only go forward. As a Democratic fundraising consultant for Senate and House candidates, she was exposed to the inner workings of campaigning, where she learned the art of coddling high-profile donors for a hefty check, trading money for influence in government. Barker said, "This is a person on the inside. Please pay attention to this article. You know I'm going to post it." Here's the thing about donors. They have niche policy issues they care about that seldom reflect the needs of people back home. See, y'all, I know y'all heard it, right? I've said it many a times. If you want to influence a politician to do what you want them to do, especially on that kind of level, but even the local level, create a group, a pact, if you will. Raise as much money as possible. Raise a lot of money. Let me just forget that. Raise a lot of money for a politician, and say, "Hey, we'll support your campaign. We'll donate. We'll put the flyers out. We'll beat the streets for you. And if you get in, this is what we need done. And if you don't get that position, you still in politics, you still have influence, this is what we need done. Capiche?" And they'll be like, "Sure. Okay." And that's how it works. That's how politics works for the most part. Now, unless you all go and vote, but even if you vote the person in, you can vote the candidate you feel is best for your needs. But for some things, will get higher priority. Some issues will get higher priority based on the amount of money that you have raised for that candidate. Best and believe that's how politics works. Let's see. Democrats love to decry money in politics when it comes to the Koch brothers or Elon Musk, but the billionaires who support Democrats are given a total pass and have a huge influence over policy. Billionaires following Democrats? I thought all the rich people follow Trump. Are you serious? You do know there's a study out there that shows, what did it say? Rich individuals vote Republican, but rich states are Democratic. Look that up. I did a story on that not too long ago. At first, I was going to do a story on it, but then because somebody in the comment section had said something about, I forgot the topic I was talking about. I forgot the topic I was talking about. But anyway, the conversation went to, well, most of the states out there that are poor are ran by like Republican states. And I was like, that really doesn't matter, because it really depends on how many people are in the state, what kind of people are there, and what they voting on, but it does not dismiss the fact that, oh yeah, that's right. My story is about why poor people lean more towards the Democrats. And they was like, well, most of the states are Republican are poor. And I'm like, that's not the point of my story. And so that's how we got to the whole who votes for who and which party has rich and poor people like that. But anyway, you can go back and watch that later. It said at first I naively thought the system was broken, but now I realize it isn't broken. It's doing what it was designed to do, which is to keep working class people from true representation. That is the point of feature, not a bug, she continued. She said that while the GOP is likely guilty of the same, okay, Democratic shields, listen to this. Democrats are bigger hypocrites about it. What? Perhaps the most shocking of it all is how Democrats have embraced Bush-era foreign policy to become the party of war, instead of rebuilding the working class communities that have been hit hardest by their neoliberal trade policies. They've spent $175 billion funding the war in Ukraine, Barker wrote. But they haven't spent any money in this country on their own people. It was the cherry. I said that last part myself. It was the cherry on the cake that Vice President Kamala Harris has been proudly touting in endorsement from Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney. But you silly people, are fighting for the Democratic Party, for a party instead of policy. See, it's okay for you to be stuck on Democrats, blue no matter who, right? But when you go high up in the ranks and you go, running for president, it's okay there if people switch sides, they endorse you. And they be Republicans. Some of these people, they're not going. It's funny because Democratic politicians, people in politics on the Democratic Party are switching to the Republican Party. There have been a few people down here in Texas who have done it, black people at that. But yet the Republicans are not going to the Democratic side, but they are endorsing Democratic candidates. You know why? Because Donald Trump is not the status quo, but politicians are. Donald Trump is going to ruin that. What did he say? The Bush, where'd he go? What was it? The Bush era. There you go. The Bush era foreign policy to become the party of war. Donald Trump screwed that up. They lost a lot of money with wars because that's how America makes money off war. Like, they loan Ukraine money and Ukraine's going to have to pay it back. And it's like they know they're not going to be able to pay it back. So what they say, as long as I owe you money, you'll never be broke. So Ukraine's going to be on the United States forever. The United States ain't got to worry about being broke. By goal, y'all. It said, here's the truth. The Democratic Party has lost its way entirely. They mostly speak to the college educated, the urban and affluent in their language. Their tone is condescending and paternalistic, she concluded. They peddle giveaways to the college educated like student loan forgiveness plans that disproportionately help their base, snubbing the majority of the country without a 4-year degree, and then offer no tangible plans for true reform. See, and that is so true because they talking about not going back. Talk about not, I guess going back to the Trump days when actually the common man was doing better with Trump than they are right now. You see how she said that they talk to these college educated, urban and fluent in their language. Trump talked to the people who don't have college education. Y'all, you get that? Business owner, billionaire, been in business all his life. He talked to people, and this is a study, say that he talked to people like they were in the 4th and 5th grade because the majority of Americans, that is their education level. From kids to adults is like 4th or 5th grade, which is sad, but hey, it is what it is. So when he spoke on their level, and that's how he got them votes. So how in the heck he got votes, how he lost his last election, I have no idea, but that's for another time. So, but anyway, it said neither the DNC nor the Harris campaign responded to Fox News Digital's request for comment. They're not going to. Hell, Harris don't even want to do a debate at Fox News. let alone reply back to you guys. But hey, that's it, man. She spoke on it. She said she's from the inside telling y'all exactly what's going on with the Democratic Party. So my question is, what do you think about it? How do you feel about it? Does it change the way you want to vote? Does it change your feelings? Maybe not change your vote, but kind of change your feelings. Like she said, the Republicans are probably guilty of the same thing, but the Democrats act like they speak against it, but yet doing it all the while. All the while. That's what I don't like about them from the jump, is that they're just a bunch of hypocrites. They false phone and hypocrites. And I don't see how you can vote for people like that. But anyway, tell me what you think about the story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Hey, I want to thank you guys for watching. But hey, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us over here. If you want to support monetarily, you can give super thanks, super chats, or you can go into the description box. There are links there that you can click on. Don't forget you go to marlonmorale.com. You can get 10% off of all the products there. Hey, a matter of fact, under this screen here, while this video is playing, I got my store posted on the videos now, set up and running. So all you got to do is just click on that. You got to do a whole bunch of scrolling and clicking on more and description boxes. Just go down to the store right below this video, click on that, and you can see what we got. See what we got, all the products, the luxury products, the colognes. Well, it's perfumes, not colognes, not perfumes. It's perfumes, something a little more stronger than colognes and perfumes. We got silk do-rags, silk scarves, and much, much more. Click on that link. Or if you still want to go to the website, marlonmorale.com, go to marlonmorale.com, get 10% off your first purchase. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.